In 5, 4, 3,
Three,
2.
I know, you see, somehow the world will change for me and be so wonderful.
I love that we had the same thought.
I don't even know what show that is.
It's
iCarly.
iCarly. My God. Welcome to our nameless podcast.
Welcome.
Welcome. This is my sister Nikki, and we just thought this would be a fun little project for us to do. We were talking about before that just like the whole last year has been so crazy, and it's like fun that we have the kind of opportunity to do something like this, because I think when you're posting kind of into the abyss, it can be a little discouraging, but I sort of have a built-in following, and it's just like fun for us to do it and know that it will actually get seen
I mean, give me a microphone and give me an audience.
and a
I'm
topic,
happy.
and
I'm happy.
we'll talk for hours.
Yeah.
We
Yeah, we
actually
will. We will.
we did a sample episode of this podcast, and it was an hour and 46 minutes
I think it was
because
longer and we edited it down to
down
an
to
hour and 46 minutes. It was over 2 hours plus of footage.
that
So,
absolutely could be true.
mhm.
But yeah, the group chat, the whole last year and the group chat and everything has been so crazy. There's been so many days of like great news. It's been emotional. And the group chat, I remember it didn't go viral overnight. It was, you were here and mom and dad were here, and it had gotten to like 200,000 views in like a day or something. And we were like, oh, it's doing well. But like
Yeah, yeah,
nothing
yeah,
that hadn't
yeah.
happened before. Like the Taylor Swift
Mhm.
videos that I used to do had gotten like, I think 12 million one of
Right.
them. So like it was always, but mom and dad left for Turks and Caicos, and you left for your baby moon in on the Jersey Shore,
Yeah.
and
Very luxury.
very luxury. You just bought a house,
We
so
just bought a house. We had $0 and we were like, let's just go to the Jersey Shore in the middle of April.
and then
It'll
I
be
ruined your baby
free.
moon. Then I ruined your
No,
entire baby
not
moon.
ruined. Not ruined.
But it was very, I feel, distracting for everyone. Like mom and dad's whole vacation was taken over by this
But
because
in a good way. I wouldn't say that anyone was sitting there, me in Jersey and mom and dad on vacation being annoyed. Everyone was so excited
yeah,
watching the follower count. I was texting Sydney because once you get over a million, you can't see the incrementals between a million and 1.1, but
yeah,
she can.
I can.
So I was texting her, did we hit, like, are we close to 1.4? Like, when are we getting there? Or whatever the number was
Yeah.
at the
I
time.
was sending you like screenshots of the little like analytics that
Yeah,
only
yeah,
I can see of like the exact number.
yeah.
But yeah, it was slow the first like 2 days, I think. And then it just randomly started to pick up. I was at work, and it went from like 2 million to like 10 million literally in
Hmm.
like a work day.
Yeah.
And then I went home and I took a nap and had my phone on do not disturb, and then I woke up and I had like 15 text messages, and mom had called me like 4 times, and I was like, what is happening? And I just called mom back before I even looked at anything, and she was like, Charlie Puth commented on your TikTok, and I was like,
There is
what?
no one looking at your content closer than our mother.
That is so true.
Yeah.
My mom, okay, our mom will call me still, and she'll be like, this person commented, just wanted to let you know in case you wanted to respond to them. And I'm
Yeah.
like, okay. And now I see everything because the comments aren't coming in the way that they were on that video. At that time, there were like, I remember the Today Show did the analytics. It was something like 200 brands on one video.
Hmm.
Like it was crazy. So I really couldn't see everything.
Right.
And people were telling me like, my friends from work were the ones who told me that Bethany Frankel made a video about the group chat, and
Hmm.
Stassi. Like I couldn't even, it was actually so insane. In some ways, I feel like when they talk about people winning the lottery and how like you can't replicate that feeling, so people
Hmm.
almost get depressed. I'm like, now when I post the group chat, I'm like, still so excited, but like it won't ever be
Are you an
that.
adrenaline junkie now? Like chasing that high eternally?
A little bit, I think. Like sometimes during the day, I'll just get a little bit like, oh, I wish something would happen. And then like my agent will call me and be like, there's news about the TV show. And I'm like, yeah, like I
Yeah.
am kind of chasing that feeling a little bit. And when the TV show, hopefully, it happens and we're making progress, but that'll be a whole different thing and a whole different type of adrenaline. But I don't
Hmm.
think there will be anything ever like going from working my just normal like 9 to 5 in jewelry to like
Right.
within that 2 weeks, everything got so crazy that I had to leave my job
Right.
to like just keep up with the volume of things that were going on.
Yeah.
And I don't even like, we talk so much about my feeling of it, but like really what was that week like for you?
It was so exciting.
Yeah.
First of all, I think having a child did not change my life as much as going viral changed yours. Like,
It's weird to
I
say, but
went
yeah,
through an
probably.
insane milestone for me personally in my life, and I don't feel like it was. This is also the result of having a child in daycare who was constantly getting us sick. I don't feel like it was as crazy as your milestone that you were going through. And watching it happen from the sideline, so I'm not in it, it's not as chaotic
Yeah.
for me, and I just kinda get to sit back, watch the numbers climb up, and hear about I'm also getting the debrief. Mom is calling me, telling me, these 5 people commented on the video, here's what they said, and telling me like, "Okay, Sydney's doing this episode," and like, mom is our news anchor, like, she's breaking all the news to all of us at all times, keeping me updated with just the highlights of what was going on.
Yeah.
Um, it was incredible, it was so exciting. Being extremely pregnant, extremely emotional, with 0 brain cells is interesting mix with all your success, like, me randomly crying, saying to Erin, "I don't want Sydney to get so famous that she doesn't talk to me anymore."
Which is, like, so insane.
Yeah.
Mom
He's
did
like,
send
"No,
me
you're just pregnant."
100 I mean, I had called you at one point and I was
Mhm.
like, "I don't want to," because you were just about to have the baby, and I was like they were telling me like, "Okay, we want you to come out to LA," and all these things, and I was like, "I don't wanna move and, like, miss, the first, like,
The birth of your nephew.
right, and also just, like, the first couple months of his life, and I don't wanna miss any milestones and stuff." So I think it was overwhelming. I honestly there's a lot of that first 2 weeks that I don't even remember because I think your brain can only comprehend so much, and I think
Mhm.
the difference is, like, when you say, like, it was more life-changing than having a child, I think it's just that having a child is something that you expected.
And have, like, 10 months to prepare for.
Right, this is
Right.
something that's sort of like a 1 in a million, like, what are the odds that it would happen? And so I
Mhm.
think that's why it feels so much more because it's,
Right.
like, was so out of nowhere. Like, I came home hungover on the Sunday morning and, like, decided to film this skit that I had had in my notes for literally ever.
Mhm.
And then within, like, 4 days, it was just completely changed everything.
Yeah.
It was really scary for me. I remember calling Shannon at one point, after, like, 4 or 5 days of it. I did, like, the Rolling Stone interview and all of
Mhm.
that, and the Today Show had already called. And I was like, "Can you just tell me something normal? Like, just tell me about, like, how's school? Like, tell me something about school." My best friend is a teacher, so I was just like, "Tell me something that's,
Right.
like, completely normal." And not having you guys was weird. Like, mom and dad were on
What do you mean?
vacation, you were
Oh,
in
like,
Jersey, like,
physically, we were
physically
not.
being by myself in the apartment, going through all of this, watching my following go, watching the comments come in, hearing from agents and managers who wanted to sign me, hearing from brands who wanted to work with me. Like, it was so quick, and I
Right.
didn't know how to, like, deal with it without having you guys around. It was
Right,
very
right.
strange. Me, mom and I were talking about this, like, last week, and she sent me a screenshot, which is so like mom to do, of us on FaceTime sobbing.
Oh, yeah.
Like, the 2 of us sobbing. I was like, "I don't even remember that," but
Well, that was sneaky. I mean, you would never know when someone takes a screenshot of your
no, we were
FaceTime.
smiling. She definitely told us that she was taking
Oh,
it,
oh, oh.
but you could see, like, your eyes are all, like, red and swollen, and I'm, like,
I mean,
clearly
I was living in a
crying.
permanent state of crying, between this whole year,
Yeah,
I mean, all of 2025, the last year.
but there were so many FaceTime calls. I remember, when you and Aaron even came home and because you were in the house, I remember.
Mhm.
I had FaceTimed you one day to tell you something that was going on, and, I started crying, and you were totally fine, and I was like, "I'm just overwhelmed," and then you started crying and walked away from the camera, and Aaron said, like, Nikki was talking about this morning at breakfast, how, like,
Oh,
she's
like, you would get famous and forget about me.
yes, which obviously,
Sydney would be
like,
like, "I have a sister? I forgot, I'm so
so
famous."
ridiculous, like, but
I
also
the irrational thoughts you have during pregnancy are really it's a special time. I hope everyone gets to experience aside from men who, like, could never anyway. Um, yeah, a
yeah.
lot of irrational thoughts, that being and it felt rational to me in the moment.
Yeah, I also like it's very unpredictable. Like, looking back, I'm like, it opened a lot of doors and it changed my life, but that wasn't going to suddenly send me into being like an A-list celebrity like overnight because of a TikTok video.
Right.
There's still a lot of
I
progress to
think
be
Aaron
made.
said that. He was like, "Hold on. She has a TikTok series, like, she's not, like, about to star in the next, like, rom-com with Jacob Elordi, and
Yeah.
she's moving to
Ugh, a
Hollywood."
girl
Like,
can dream though.
a girl can
A girl
dream.
can
I
dream.
actually do have and this was not something we were gonna talk about, but, like, a random Jacob Elordi, Margot Robbie, Wuthering Heights, like, little segment that maybe we can discuss.
Oh, because that movie's coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't read the book. Did you read the book?
No.
Okay.
I like
Maybe I'll
know
read it.
about it though.
I actually don't know anything about the plot.
Oh.
The only reason I'm even bringing this up is nothing to do with Wuthering Heights itself, but it's all about this press tour. Have you seen anything about them in this press tour?
Not really. I've seen a couple of Margot Robbie's, like, outfits. She looks sick on the tour. She looks
She
sick
does
in
look
everything,
sick.
though. Her
Yeah.
hair, like,
Everything. Her
everything.
everything.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
looks great.
Well, okay, the point of that just being, um, everything that they have said about each other in this press tour and everything that continues to come out about them makes
Yeah.
me so wholly uncomfortable about their relationship. It feels so inappropriate. A few weeks ago, this was the start of it all. They did an interview.
Yeah.
She talked about how she became codependent on Jacob Elordi while they were filming, which, like, yeah, I would also become codependent on Jacob Elordi, but I'm just a mere mortal. You're Margot Robbie. You have a husband and a child.
Yeah.
You became codependent on a man who's not your husband during filming. He said something similar about how when Margot Robbie is like on set of a movie, you want to make sure you're as close to her as possible at all times. Okay,
Oh,
weird.
okay.
And then they got matching pinky rings or just rings that have their initials on them.
Oh.
And then there were pictures that came out yesterday of them in a red carpet holding hands. Like, if this is a what's the word? This is like a marketing tactic.
Mm.
Unbelievable job. Killer
Yeah.
marketing by whoever is orchestrating. It's giving like Sydney Sweeney, Glenn Powell, that
Yeah.
whole situation. But it feels a little more scandalous because because Margot Robbie is a mother, a new mother at
Yeah.
that.
It also, like, in some ways reminds me a little bit of, like, the Cynthia Erivo, Ariana Grande thing where they were like, they always have to be, like, touching, and I
Okay,
just
but like they weren't cheating on anyone. Well, actually,
Ariana Grande fully has a boyfriend, I don't know what you're talking about.
yeah, well, she was cheating with Ethan Slater.
Cheating in multiple ways because
Right.
they cheated together, and then now there's all I don't even know if you've seen, but there's all these things that I forget what they called it. They used, like, a slew of buzzwords together to basically say, like, we're curious about what it would be to be together sexually, but we're not together.
What?
You didn't see that?
No.
Oh my god, somebody asked them about their relationship. I think it was Cynthia who said it, and she was like, "We're" this is not what she said, but I'm gonna say it like this so you understand, like, how it sounded. She was like, "We're, like, non-denominationally, curiously bi, but not exclusively and not physically together." Like, it was so weird the way she said it,
Word salad.
and then yeah,
What are you
really.
trying to say?
And then they
Are you
asked
guys banging
her
or are you not banging?
and basically, when they asked more directly, she was like, "We both acknowledge that we're very curious about what it would be like to be together sexually, and there are romantic feelings between us, but we're not together."
What?
It's like,
Okay.
and it's a little like, I think after like fully 2 years of Wicked press and everyone being like, this seems weird, and them not acknowledging it, and now the movie's over, acknowledging it in that way was like
I don't
crazy.
think that that's being talked about. I haven't heard that anywhere.
Oh, it was everywhere for a few days, but
When did that happen?
like right after the second movie came out, which was only in
Oh, so it's
November.
been a couple of months.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm
Interesting.
very curious to see like what goes on with that. But then also there's a lot of people saying that they like haven't really spoken since the movie wrapped, and some people say that they like don't talk anymore. There's a lot of like weird stuff going on there.
Just like baseless rumors, probably.
Yeah. She also gave a lot of interviews being like, Glinda, I think Glinda's bisexual. And I was like, I think you are just discovering that
Bisexual.
you're bisexual. And so you're like, it's Glinda. I'm like, if you actually look at like the original Wicked, I don't agree.
I'm not getting like undertones of bisexuality from Wicked. No.
Not really.
No.
I also do think that is something that like kind of annoys me is like every single time that there are girl characters that are really close, there's like the gay accusations. Even with the group chat, this whole fight between Allison and Sloane in season 5, I've gotten so many comments being like, Sloane's just clearly in love with Allison. And
Wait,
I'm like,
really?
no, that's not what that is.
So do you want to clear up any rumors now while we have an audience and you are the writer of said characters?
Sloane and Allison are not in love. They're not gay. And there's no like emotional jealousy going on with Sloane. I think she's just mad that Allison decided to move out and didn't tell her, as anyone would be.
Right. She doesn't like being lied to. Shocker of the century.
That's the biggest debate in my comment section right now, though, is like there were
I
a
didn't
bunch of
see
comments
that.
like that, and then a bunch of people below it being like, no, this is the problem, is like every time a girl who doesn't, and this used to happen to me with a certain girl that I knew in college, when I would get annoyed with her about the roommate situation and her having her boyfriend over every night of the week in a 5x5 dorm where our beds are touching. She would make comments as if like I didn't have a boyfriend, and not only was I jealous, but maybe I had feelings for her. And I was like, no, I just don't want your boyfriend here all the time. It's not jealousy, it's personal space.
Right.
Quite different.
Boundaries.
Boundaries.
Boundaries and jealousy, not the same thing.
Also, if I was gonna be bi, it would be for someone like Margot Robbie and not that girl that I was rooming with. I was like, I have absolutely zero sexual feelings.
I could be bi and still have standards.
Yeah.
I wouldn't choose you.
And I wouldn't. And you know who I'm talking about, so
I
you
do.
know that I wouldn't.
I also would not choose her.
No. Um, that's just why we just need to grow and sometimes cut people out of our lives. And thank God for it.
Yeah, gotta trim the fat.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But I want to jump right in with Traitors because
Mhm.
I watched it came out last night. I watched it right at 9 o'clock and I was heated. Okay, let's start with the dinner party. First of all,
Yeah.
outfits, sickening. Like Mara's outfits throughout the entire episode were amazing, but that
Yeah.
gold shirt she was wearing, sickening.
Not my favorite outfit of hers.
Really?
Her full green leather, that may have been day one, I thought was really good. The gold, I don't know, I thought, like, it was fine. I didn't think she looked very extravagant. Maybe it's because Candace was wearing a headpiece. She just got
Maybe.
lost to me.
I also did love Colton's headpiece.
Oh, I hated it.
You hated
I
it?
hated it.
I just love sparkles and like any sort of extravagant jewelry. I'm just like, yes.
It was giving theme party
Well, I feel like it was kind of a theme party. They were like all supposed to be kind of overdressed in like these murder mystery dinner party costumes.
to a point.
Yeah. Okay. So challenge for the dinner was to have a murder. I will say, I thought it was so like smart the way that Linda did it. What's her name, right? Linda?
Linda?
Lisa. I always do that. I don't know why. I like can't stick in my mind. Like when I say the full name when I'm like Lisa Renna, it makes sense.
So
But
say the full name.
Linda, no. But yeah, I do. I thought the way she did it was smart. I thought she was going to be like, "Oh, isn't this cool?" and wait to see
Mhm.
if someone touched it. Her being like, "Ow, it's hurting me." That was smart.
I did think that was very smart. I
Really
also
smart.
my initial thought was like, how would I get someone to touch it? I would enlist another traitor and be like, "Oh, feel how spiky this is." That was at before she mentioned the it's poking me.
Yeah.
Just the pin itself, not the back of it that was
Mm.
poking her.
Yeah.
I figured I would have like Rob, let's say, be like, "Oh, look, feel how spiky this is," and then have him touch it, and then it wouldn't be as weird as someone else touched it.
Yeah.
But I do think that would have probably raised red
A
flags.
little bit. So the
Yeah.
way she did it was really smart. She had a whole night to think about it. So
Mhm.
she probably went in her mind like, "How do I do this?" I also think it was funny that they were like, "Decide who's going to wear the amulet," as if it would have been Rob. Like
Yeah.
that would have been so weird if Rob
Yeah.
just like showed up with this fucking thing.
Although his outfit was pretty interesting. Unfortunately, they didn't give us a really good full body shot of his outfit,
No, they
just the
didn't.
one scene of him walking in,
Mm.
but it had this like V corset bottom to it.
Yeah, I did see that. I didn't watch Love Island, but I am starting to understand the hype around Rob. And like he is really smart. Gotta
Unfortunately,
give it to
yeah.
him. He really is smart. I like almost don't want to like him, but I do. I can't help it. But
Yeah.
so the murder went off without a hitch within the first 5 minutes. Great.
Mhm.
Then they come in and they give the elixirs. I am really not feeling Natasha. I didn't watch Survivor.
Natalie.
I'm so bad.
Linda and
You
Natasha.
know what? It happens with Big Brother too. I feel like it takes me a couple of like weeks to get their names down.
There's
So,
not yeah, I was gonna say there's not that many of them, but it did start off with 23, which is a lot of
and
people.
I don't know. I don't watch any of these shows, so I don't
Mhm.
know. Like, I'm really going off of nothing. The only ones I knew were Tiffany and Ian,
Right.
which I do know their names because they were on Big
Right.
Brother and they got just so quickly eliminated,
Obliterated.
so bad. But yeah, Natalie. I am not feeling her. And like, I didn't really notice her the first couple episodes, but the absolute tantrum that she threw about the elixir, it reminded me of like literally a third grader who doesn't get like the color folder they want in class. And they're like, no, I want the pink one. No, it should be me. Like, it pissed me off.
She was being ridiculous.
So annoying.
Yeah, she was being annoying, and Tara was being an adult and was like, "Oh, I'm not gonna literally elbow you for it." Natalie was elbowing for it. So
Yeah.
yeah, of course you got it. You're being aggressive. People know they're on TV. They don't want to look dumb.
She also literally got out of her chair and ran for it.
Yeah,
Like, literally ran. I was like, you are a child. And then her embarrassment the next day at breakfast having to be like,
warranted.
really sorry about last night. I'm like, that would just annoy me so much. And also, I do feel like I would think she was a traitor. From that, I'm like, you throwing such a fit about it would make me think like you're trying to throw the scent off of you.
I think it can go either way. I think that's the point of it is like it can go in either direction. You could either be so obviously a traitor or so obviously a desperate faithful.
Yeah.
And so people will get in a mindset of one or the other, and then they can't convince themselves out of, oh, I think she's a traitor. Oh, I think that she's faithful.
That's why you just have to not talk.
Right.
And like be really careful about your word selection. But her reasoning was also stupid. Like when you have the cards on the table and there's all of this stuff in the room and she's like, someone served me turkey. I'm like, that doesn't even make sense.
Right.
Like, what do you mean?
I also think Lisa did a terrible job at she's not helping her own case by any means. Candace, Rob is smart because he sits back and he is playing for himself. He
Yeah.
doesn't care at all about the other 2 women.
Mm-mm.
So that's why he's doing so well. But if Candace was so interested in protecting Lisa, which she was, her and Lisa could have both said, "Oh, I don't think it's serving turkey because there are so many other things happening here."
Yeah.
You know, that could have been, look how many props there are. You think the turkey is it? Or actually you think the kissing is it? Look at all these props on the table. I don't think it's the kissing.
Yeah. Also, I probably would have had Candace wear the pin because there already was some attention on Lisa, and I'd be like, Lisa, lay solo at this dinner party. Like,
But they picked Lisa before they had the following murder. They
that's
they
true.
they
That's
picked her the
true.
night before, and then there was heat on her the next day.
That is
So it was
true.
actually too
I
late.
forgot they did like a
Mhm.
flashback and they were like, this is what happened last night before the banishment. I completely
Right.
forgot about that. But yeah, in general, like, and it's so unfortunate that Jam Jam was right about it being Lisa, but for the completely wrong
Yeah,
reason.
the kiss.
Made absolutely no sense. I
Right.
didn't even understand that at all. But the heat was already on Lisa, so I think it was really easy for everyone to buy into it. And them pulling Jam Jam out of the room too. It looked really, really. It reminded me of the Goosebumps movie Night at Terror Tower when they're. It was so aggressive the way that they like pulled him
I
out of his
don't
chair.
recall this
You don't remember
movie.
that one?
No.
Oh my god, one day we have to talk about the Goosebumps movies because those were made for children. And Charlie, our brother, we went back and watched a few of them because I was saying to him, like, I remember those being actually like so messed up. The
Yeah.
one Night at Terror Tower was so messed up. It's literally these two kids being chased around by knights. There's like people hanging in cages screaming at them. I was like, this is so not for kids.
I
Like,
kind of is that like it was very
yeah,
medieval
yeah.
looking.
And like their parents
I
like don't know who
kind
they
of
are, and
remember it.
it was like scary. They were just supposed to be going on a tour of this medieval tower.
Oh, it does ring a little bit of a
It
bell.
was messed up, but that's what Jam Jam being just completely like ripped from his
Dragged,
seat
yeah.
remind me of. They did a good job with the
Yeah.
acting there. I'm sure that he was putting it on a little bit, but he's like, "It was
No, I think
Lisa."
I think he didn't wanna get eliminated, really.
Well, probably. And he also was trying to get out that word that he thought it was Lisa and they were really pulling him out of the room.
Right.
Because most people when you are murdered or banished, you don't really get to say anything else. Like when
Right.
you have to announce if you're a traitor or faithful, you can't say any other words. You leave right after.
Right.
He got that like 15-second window to get in his last statement, and he was like really determined to get it out
Yeah.
there. So
It must have been really chaotic in the room at the time because, and this threw me off and whatever, Alan Cummings or Cumming, I don't know if there's an S at the end of his name.
I don't think there is. I think it's just Alan
Okay,
Cumming.
I'm just gonna say Alan because I don't know.
Mhm.
Um, Alan went on, I don't know if it was, Andy Cohen's show, Watch What Happens Live, or he was on some interview, like, a week or 2 ago,
Yeah.
and someone asked him, "What do you think is the most dramatic moment in reality TV history?" And
Yeah.
he said, "I think it's gonna be on this upcoming episode of The Traitors, episode 7. Wait until you hear me say, like, the banquet." So, I had heard that maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. Going into this episode, I'm thinking, "It's gonna be insane at the banquet."
Yeah.
It really wasn't.
No.
Not for you to say that's the most insane moment in reality TV history.
Yeah,
No,
no.
it wasn't.
And if you want to talk about Big Brother, there were people who were literally like kicked out of the house for like hitting people. Like it
Yeah.
wasn't that crazy, but
I don't know what I was expecting. Something insane to happen, and it just simply was it was by the books, normal to the game.
yeah. And I wonder if he said that even because of the Jam Jam and Lisa thing, or if it was just because of Natalie like literally throwing a fit over the elixir.
I think if you were in the room, usually someone gets murdered in private. So he was murdered in the room with everyone and was dragged away. And
Mm,
it probably felt very dramatic because they have never done that before. I don't think murdered someone the moment it happened.
mm.
So that probably felt crazy to everyone in the room. But as a viewer, it didn't feel that crazy.
No, it wasn't. I did like it was interesting. This was one of my favorite episodes so far this season, I will say. I
Yeah.
do feel like there was a lot that went on. We moved to the challenge. Well, okay, actually, we moved to breakfast the next morning. Doesn't that
Hmm.
happen first?
Yes.
Yeah, and Candace, okay,
Hmm.
just have to check now. Candace and Lisa finally confront Rob, and I will say, I don't blame Rob at all. I totally understand his way of thinking for voting Lisa. I do think that given his friendship with Colton and like how close he was with Rob, I do think it would have looked really weird if he had voted for either of them. So I get why he voted for Lisa, and at the end of the day, it is to some extent a solo game. Like if the other
Yeah.
traders get eliminated, that's just more for him. So I get it. But now the next morning, like, he really went out of his way that day during the challenge and during breakfast to not be helpful and then also to throw Lisa under the bus. She literally said at breakfast, like, "You have to do more work today," which might have pissed me off if someone was like, "You need to do something." I think it actually made him want to go against her more. Her and Candace at breakfast being like, "You need to really step it up today and not just sit back and do nothing." I'd be like, "Don't fucking tell me what to do."
I didn't get the vibe that he cared. He's not a hothead. He doesn't seem petty. He's has such like a chill demeanor. I
Maybe.
just think, well, first of all, him saying that he didn't vote for Colton because they're close, I don't think that was a good excuse because if you think someone's a traitor, you would just vote for them. Like
Yeah.
it has nothing to do with your personal relationships. Hence why you're voting out Lisa. You have a personal and a working game relationship and you're still voting her out. It was the smart thing to do
Yeah.
to vote Lisa out. And what he should have done is go to Candace on the side and say, there's way too much heat on Lisa right now. If we defend her, it's going to be very obvious that we are traitors.
Mm.
So we need to distance ourselves. She's going to get voted out no matter what. We need to be on the right side of the vote
Yeah.
so that people don't think we're in cahoots with her.
Yeah.
If he had done that, I think Candace would have said okay, and probably they would have had a working relationship now after this roundtable, which it seems from the end of the episode that's not going to happen.
No, definitely not. I've never watched this show before though. Has it ever happened before that a traitor, like traitors have gone against each other?
Yes.
It does happen. Has it
Yes.
happened as extreme? Because it's not like
More.
now.
Last season, it happened earlier, and
Oh,
it was crazy. Last season was a good season.
okay. I think that's my thing is like when I was watching this episode during the challenge when Rob is literally going out of his way to throw Lisa under the bus this episode.
Right.
Like he says to a bunch of different people that he thinks she's a traitor before the roundtable.
Right.
And I was kind of like, this is so unnecessary. Like I understand you not voting against like you voting against her because it didn't make sense at the previous banishment, but I don't understand you going out of your way to bring up her name in other conversations. But I will say,
Well, because it makes him look innocent.
I guess I wasn't thinking about it that way. After the banishment was over at the end of the episode, I did kind of think, well, no one's gonna look at Rob now because now that like, why would you do that? So I think
Right.
no one's gonna look at
Except
him.
that Candace wrote his name down.
Yes. Which was dumb.
Mm-hmm.
Like that, I think actually that doesn't put the spotlight on Rob. I think it really puts the spotlight on her.
I think it made her look strange.
Yeah.
People are gonna think they're paranoid.
Yeah.
So now they're gonna overthink why she did that.
Mm.
No one here thinks Rob is a traitor.
Mm-mm.
If you do, you must know something because you must be a traitor.
Right.
So she's dumb for that.
And her being like, I just couldn't bring myself to vote for either of you. Like, what?
Right. Right.
Like you have to. Why? What was the
You coulda
reason
just
to not
voted
vote for
for
Natalie?
Natalie.
Right. I don't get what the reason was to not do that. So I
She's
didn't.
not very good at this game.
Not at all. She just talks too much too fast. She doesn't think before
Mhm.
she does things. And then her writing Rob's name down in combination with the fact that she spent all week defending Lisa, which people already thought was weird.
Right.
Now Lisa is clearly you knew before it was announced Lisa was going to be banished. Like there
Right.
were only a few people who voted for Natalie. I think everyone at the table sort of knew that's where we were headed. Why would you write Rob's name down when you know Lisa that you've been defending is going to come out as a traitor? Like I think she's probably next to go. All eyes are on her at this point.
Well, you don't get to change your answer based on what other people's votes are. So she wrote that down before they announced their voting.
I know,
Yes,
but I
at that
think they
point-
knew. I think like if you listen to the conversation, I
Mhm.
think it was very clear that there wasn't as strong of a case for Natalie as there was for Lisa.
I mean, she obviously thought she was doing something really brilliant, and she wasn't.
No, not at all.
It's extremely not brilliant.
Mm-mm. I do also think that eyes are going to be on Colton now, which we had initially
They've been on
talked
him.
even more.
Mhm.
And he thought that getting Lisa out when he brought up her name was going to be like his ticket to everyone realizing he's a faithful. And I actually think it did the opposite.
Right.
Yikes. Sorry, Colton.
Well, yeah, because now he's nailed down 2 traitors, and people are thinking what I just said about Candace. Why do you have so much insider info
Right.
about who these traitors are? Which sucks because he really is just good at the game.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that the internet thinks he's annoying. And you have to just put that, the stalking of the ex-girlfriend and, all that just has to, do you not know
No.
about Colton's whole backstory?
I like really don't know that much about Colton. I didn't watch a season of The Bachelor. I remember we were together when he came out on Good Morning America or something when he actually came out. It was like on a morning show. I remember
Mhm.
being with you that day, and I remember that, and because it was a big deal.
Right.
But I really don't know a lot about him.
So really all you need to know is that Cassie Randolph was the girl who he had chosen at the end of the show.
Mhm.
I kind of I didn't watch his season in full. I watched it in pieces, but I kind of remember them being on off a little, and eventually at some point in the relationship, she filed a restraining order against him, as did some members of her family, I think. And because he was stalking her, he had a tracker on her car after they broke up. It was like a whole situation.
Yeah.
And Colton came out of the closet, which was probably good press for him because people were speculating anyway.
Mm.
Everyone he went away for a little while. Everyone kind of forgot about the stalker situation. Now he's back in the limelight. He's being they unfortunately keep giving him this edit, or maybe this is just what his face looks like, where he has his eyes are all wide and kind of crazy, and as he's staring at people with this like weird
I have
smile,
noticed that.
it's made people remember the stalking.
Okay, I had no idea about the
Yeah.
stalking. That is insane.
Right.
Wait, I'm surprised they, like, put him on the show.
Yeah.
A little bit
Yeah.
surprised.
Well, I think it's probably good press if you put some controversial people on the
Yeah,
show.
that's true.
Yeah.
But okay, so now Rob, I do think that a lot of people think now that Rob like has this game on lock. And I really disagree. I think his luck is going to run out very quickly. There have been two things for me in the last two episodes where I'm like,
Mhm.
why are people not clocking Rob? The first is Lisa, because I'm like, at every single round table, Rob is so quiet. He doesn't say anything. He doesn't get involved really in the conversation, but he went so hard at Lisa. I don't know why people are not clocking that as more weird. And then also, in the last episode when they had the chariot whatever that was,
Yeah.
the like mission, when they got to the end, Colton and Jam Jam took the medallions, the shields, and they got on the chariots. Obviously, the guys were giving them away in the first two rounds because they had to drag the chariots uphill. So no heavy guys wanted to get on there and end up like screwing over the group. When they got to the end and there was only a couple feet left to pull, the big guys were like, "Okay, I'm taking it now. I want a shield." He gave it away.
Robbed it.
Yeah, he gave it to Jam Jam, and I'm like, why did no one think that was weird that he would not take the shield for himself, give it to another big dude to get on the like, nobody and I'm surprised that Jam Jam didn't clock that as being weird.
I think it was just an act of good faith at that point, or goodwill. Like,
Maybe. I
he's
could be
just trying to
overthinking
get
it.
someone on his side,
Mm.
and Jam Jam in this entire thing has been so he is such a little scared weenie. He's so afraid of everything,
Yeah, he is.
and he was just salivating for that shield.
Yeah.
So Rob giving it to him, he's not looking into what that means. He's like, "I'm safe."
I guess. I think he should have taken a second to be like, why would Rob give that? Like, nobody else was giving away shields at that point in the challenge, and
Well,
that
no,
struck me.
Eric, I think, gave a shield. Stephen Coletti gave a
Only
shield.
earlier in the challenge, not on that last round. Nobody did. The two people that found shields got right on, and then Rob found it and gave it to Jam Jam as the third one. I thought
I
that
think
was
there was
strange.
chaos and not people weren't standing there watching.
Yeah.
People were still searching, they were in the woods. I don't think that that registered for anyone.
It's just funny that things like that end up like Rob's gotten lucky, like that slipped by, but every other person who slipped up in any way, like Natalie saying we killed, and like Natalie really
Yeah,
is a faithful. I'm like, think about the words that you're choosing, but
right.
everything else gets detected. Like they really look into every single decision. And the two or three slip ups that Rob has had have just gone completely unnoticed. I think
I
people
would
are
say the
really
one slip up. I wouldn't even say that there's more than that one you're referencing. He's been very smart. He's played a pretty quiet game.
maybe him getting off the conga line too. I was surprised that nobody thought anything of that. When he got off the conga line
Why
to go
why would
get the
that be weird?
cards because just I don't know, the way he did it and he ran into the kitchen. I'm just waiting for him to be caught. I think people are very charmed by him and they want to like him and believe that he's a faithful, but
Mhm.
if they looked a little closer, him going so hard against Lisa and just all I'm just like I think a lot of it is really strange and I don't
No,
think anybody's looking at him too closely.
I am in a different camp entirely. I think he's
Okay.
playing an amazing game so far. This thing with Candace is gonna cause some issues for him
Yeah.
because she's gunning for him now, and then he's gonna if he's petty, he'll go back at her too hard. It'll look strange.
Yeah.
If he continues to play it smart, he won't go at her as hard. He'll try to make it look like, "Why is she pushing this on me? Clearly, I'm a faithful. I got Lisa out." Like,
Yeah.
she is trying to deflect off of herself. Look how hard she defended Lisa. She's obviously a traitor. I find that there's a lot of ways he can play this. Excuse me, a lot of ways he can play this that brings him out of this unscathed.
Yeah, I really do because of that. I will agree. I think he's playing a smart game. I'm surprised no one else is looking at him, but I also do agree he's playing a smart game and getting Lisa out, like he's good for at least a couple of weeks. I really
Mhm.
don't think anyone's going to look at him. If Candace was smart, she would now go to Rob. And even if she had one eye open for him and knows, like, okay, clearly you're in this for yourself and you're not really looking to play as a team, like you could know that in the back of your mind. But if she was smart, she would go to him and say, I understand why you did what you did. Let's move forward. But her being like, you're a snake, I'm like,
Right.
he's in the best position right now.
Right.
And he's gonna so quickly like flip that on you.
You might wanna hitch your wagons to his ride because you're about to be next.
100%.
Yeah.
So I'm really interested to see how Candace reacts in the next episode.
Mhm.
We already got a preview of her saying
Right.
like you're a snake, and I'm like, it's just so not
Stupid. It's
smart. It's
stupid.
stupid.
Right. I have a question for you.
Yes.
As you're watching,
hmm
are you rooting for the faithfuls or the traitors?
I think I am rooting for the Traitors. I do wonder if it would be different if the Traitors were different. Like I don't know if that's just because I really do think like again, with Rob, I get it.
Mhm.
Like, he's hot. He's also seems genuinely like a kind person,
Mhm.
like one-on-one outside the game. And also so intelligent. Like, that is really a rare combination to find someone who's so like kind of down to earth and he has a really like good demeanor. He's calm, but he's also really
You
smart.
you need to watch the season of Love Island. You might feel differently.
Oh, is he not like that on Love Island?
Um, he is calm. He's a little weird. Like,
Okay.
I don't know, I can't really describe it, and I don't wanna deviate too much into, like, Love Island, but Rob is he loves an uncomfortable silence, he loves to make people feel uncomfortable, or at least that was the edit he got,
Mm,
and he's just kind of a strange guy. He was emotional at weird times, overly emotional. Again, I'm sure the producers and the show kind of play to that, they want that drama, but
yeah.
I didn't come out of Love Island thinking that Rob was super emotionally stable, chill, and kind.
Oh, that's interesting. That's so not what I get from
Yeah.
him being on the show. I mean, clearly there
This has
is an
been great for his
arrogance.
brand.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, as someone who knows nothing else about him, like I'm falling under the Rob charm. I
Right.
do think there is an arrogance about him, but I think anyone who is like really intelligent and is able to sit back and watch other people kind of dig their own
Mhm.
graves, which like I could see him looking at Candace and being like, good luck.
Right.
Like I think there does come an arrogance about that. But in general, like he seems really genuine. I think he's like nice to everyone. I don't know. I was expecting him to be a little bit more of like an outward asshole, and I'm surprised that he's not.
So in short, you're rooting for Rob.
Yeah, kind of. I don't know if I'd say I'm rooting for the Traitors. I would say
Mhm.
I'm rooting for Rob, and I would have to watch another season and see if there was a selection of Traitors that I didn't necessarily like, and there was a faithful or two that I did really like. I could see myself very easily changing
Mhm.
my tune. What about you? What do you root for the Traitors or
The reason why I asked is because I was watching last week with my husband, and at the end of the episode, he said, "Wow, Rob is." It was after Rob had felt really emotional about not voting out Ron in that whole episode.
yeah?
And Aaron said, "Wow, Rob really seems like such a good guy. Like it almost makes you want to root for the traitors." And I was like, I am rooting for the traitors. I rooted for the traitors last season. I'm rooting for them this season. Like, aren't we aligned that we're all rooting for the traitors here? Because they're the underdogs in the sense that there's less of them, even though they have knowledge that gives them an upper hand. But
Yeah.
aren't we rooting for the traitors? And he was like, no, I'm rooting for the faithfuls.
Oh
Now,
no, no, no.
Aaron's really pure of heart, so I don't know if that's a him thing.
He is. I that is true. I think again, like if there was a handful of traitors that I really liked, like if Ian was still in the house, I'm sorry, if there was a handful of faithfuls that I
Mhm.
really liked, if Ian was still in the house, I could see just those people rooting for. But I think the instinct is to root for the traitors in the same way that when you watch like Dexter or you and you get the behind the scenes of the
Right,
darkness that's going on, like even though you know that Joe's a bad person and you're still kind of like hoping that he gets away with it. I think that's so much of the gameplay lies in the traitors. And so when you
right,
know they have to do a murder in plain sight, you're like, oh, I hope they get away with it. I couldn't imagine sitting there and being like, oh, I hope they catch them.
right.
Yeah, that's definitely not my mindset.
Yeah.
I wasn't really thinking about it when you asked me, but yeah, no, I definitely think I would root for the traitors regardless, but I could see myself rooting for specific faithfuls.
Mhm.
And I'm just also really hoping that they don't get banished. Like it is upsetting. When Tiffany got banished, I was like, no, because I did like her on Big Brother, and
Right.
I was like, "Oh, that makes me really sad."
She also made such a compelling emotional case at the round table that you were like, "Oh, I I just want Tiffany to pay for college for her son.
No,
Can you
really
guys just let her
though.
win?
For real. I
Yeah.
don't know. When she was sobbing like that, I was like, I think even if like she's not an actress, she was on a game show. Like you would have to be kind of a psychopath to be able to put on that kind of emotional performance. I really do
Or
feel.
you were a traitor and you were gonna get banished and you still weren't gonna get the money, and that made you sad.
I guess that's
You'd
true.
be crying either way because you were not getting this money.
That's true. Lisa did cry
Yeah,
when
Lisa
she
did cry.
I felt bad for her and she was like, "Damn you, Rob." They seem to be good. I am curious. I don't know how much of the show they've all seen or if they're watching it in real time as it's coming out.
Mhm.
I'm curious to know if seeing how much Rob threw her name under the bus when she wasn't around that she might not have known about is because they seem to be friends online.
She's constantly posting stuff and tagging him.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
she's commented on a few of his things. Have seen on
Mhm.
comments by
I think
celebs.
she loves him. I think we all love him.
How do you not?
Right.
And I think also like that it makes you feel worse for her because I think her like that first scene when they reveal the traitors and they go in and like you could see that Candace and Lisa were genuinely excited that Rob was a traitor and he was like, I'm in a room of housewives. Like, I don't know if this is gonna work. And it does kind of make you feel bad for them. It's like they're like eager and he's like, yikes.
But again, you need to watch Love Island. That is his whole demeanor.
Okay.
He's too cool for the room, like 10 out of 10 times.
Oh, I don't want to know that.
I know. Well, we've seen a lot of really like emotional human emotions. That's we've we've seen him be really genuine and human.
Yes.
And I would say on his season of Love Island, it was just not that.
Oh, okay, I'm gonna have to like watch some. I'm not gonna watch the
Just
season,
go
but
watch
I
some
could.
TikTok
I was gonna
edits.
say I could go
Yeah.
even just watch some like YouTube clips of him. I'm gonna
Yeah.
have to do some research.
Yeah.
You know, if I could stop myself from falling for the charm of Rob, like that's
No, you
totally
can't.
fine with
You
me.
can't.
Damn.
I think even Aaron's under the charm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he really is so good looking.
Yeah.
It's unreal.
Everything I know about him that I just told you about his Love Island, his time on Love Island, and I still love Rob.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. They're also. I don't know if this is everyone, but there is something about like guys. And again, you said this was not him on Love Island, but any guy who can be really intelligent and like kind of sit back and be quiet. I'm like,
Right. A
okay.
flex.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So that was Traitors. I am genuinely so excited. Like I've just kind of been watching this season, but
Mhm.
and just like when it's out, but I wasn't really like I'm waiting for the next episode. I'm
Yeah.
like genuinely fucking excited.
I think there's only 3 more.
What?
I think there's only 10 in total.
I guess that would make sense because they do kill like 2 people every episode. There's like 1 kill and a banishment pretty much
Right.
every episode. So I guess that makes sense.
I don't know how many people are left, but in 3 more episodes, they would be able to get rid of 6 more people.
Mm.
And the finale last season, there were like 4 or 5 people left.
What happens if they catch all 3 traitors? They end the show early?
I don't know if it's ever happened.
I wonder if there
I
is
didn't-
some producing behind the scenes that goes on to make sure that kind of doesn't happen.
Well, actually, okay, so I only watched last season for context. I hadn't watched the ones prior.
Okay.
Sorry, that might happen several more times because I have a child in daycare.
It's okay.
So we're just constantly sick.
I'm taking out a tissue to blow my nose. I
Okay.
brought a tissue over here so I wouldn't have
Blow
to
it
get up and
away from
away from the mic.
Yeah. And while you do that, I'm just going to talk so that maybe it won't pick up your nose blowing.
Okay.
Last season, the traitors turned on each other. There were, I think, 4 to start. A handful got banished. And so they enlisted Danielle to go choose. Oh, I think she was the only traitor left. And so they told her to go pick someone of the faithfuls and bring them into the turret. And that would be a new traitor. And she picked Brittany.
They kind of do that in Big Brother. There have been seasons where they do like America's favorite player, like a saboteur. And if they do get voted out too soon, then they'll just literally pick someone else.
Right.
There's a certain amount where it is a TV show. You have to make sure that it still runs for the amount of time.
Right. And I want to see more traitors in the castle. So bring in more traitors. I wonder, now they've gotten rid of half the traitors, will they have Rob and Candace choose someone new? Or only if one of them gets banished? I don't know. I guess we'll see.
I think if one more, I think they're fine with the 2 of them. And I think it's kind of cool to have them be at odds. I do think that if one more got banished, they might bring someone in. It's a little early.
Only 3 more episodes.
So then maybe not.
Right.
It would be interesting to see Rob just be a traitor on his own.
I mean, it would make it easier for him.
Probably.
Having someone else who can out you or who thinks they know how to make better decisions and then you guys are at odds, like it's better for him to be only one traitor in a room of 10 people. And he's so good at just deflecting.
I would say though, if they kept doing things like Murder in Plain Sight, because they've done 2 already, and
Mhm.
I'm like, how much of that can you do on your own before you're always the one who's leaving the room and always the one who's trying to get like, I do think they would catch on if right now there's only 3 episodes left, so he could get away with it, but I think if you were a solo trader for too long and you had to do all of it by yourself, it would start to raise some red flags. I don't know how
I
long you could
not
get
if you do
away.
it well. No, I don't think I
Maybe.
just
Even
if you're good
even
at the
him
game.
doing the Murder in Plain Sight with the cards that were hidden in the picture frame, the only reason he was able to get in there is because Candace and Lisa did the conga line.
We had some mic issues, so we lost a little bit of Traitors content. We will just kind of wrap it up. Maybe that was the universe saying, "Too much.
Maybe.
You're done."
I was saying though that I had to Google if Alan's accent was real because
Oh, yes.
he is Scottish, but I love the way that ChatGPT said it, where it was
Mhm.
like the producer's asking to play it up. He is Scottish, but he's not that Scottish
Right.
because he does sound like Dracula when he talks. He's like, "You're a traitor." And I'm like, that
Right.
just cannot be real.
All right, and then and then I told Sydney that Dracula is not Scottish.
And then we talked about Transylvania, and I think the mics gave out on us because we were so far off
Yeah, we
topic.
were.
But for anyone who's interested, Transylvania is a real place.
Mhm.
And we did also talk briefly about how the Traitors cast doesn't actually sleep in the castle and they sleep in a hotel.
That may or may not have been recorded.
I don't
We won't
remember.
know until we
We
edit.
won't know until we edit. You
Yeah.
know, this is all part of the technical. And for a moment, Nikki got very discouraged when the
Oh my
mics gave
god.
out. I'm very
About 15 minutes ago, I was like, we're never doing a podcast ever again. Like, we're not
yeah.
even gonna post this. We're done. We're gone.
Yeah, I get it. I'm just so used to it now.
Yeah.
Like the amount of technical difficulties. And when I started filming the group chat, I was filming on a broken iPhone that the back camera didn't even work.
Mhm.
And no matter how much storage I would buy, my phone was just too old. So even I would buy more storage and I'd be paying for it and it would make a difference. There
It's
were
we need to consult someone because the cloud was obviously not doing its job.
no, because when I got my new phone and uploaded everything that was on my old phone to my new phone and had the same amount of storage, suddenly I had so much storage. So I know it was the phone and not the cloud.
It's actually a ploy from Apple just to get you to buy a new phone.
Actually,
Yeah.
like I'm 100% no one can convince me
Right.
otherwise. I have the proof.
And actually, Apple, if you wanna redeem yourselves, we do need another phone for filming, so feel free to
Yeah,
send that on
we
over to
really do.
you can
Um,
acquire Sydney's PO box through her
my manager's email is in my bio on every social media platform. But yeah, I had there have been times where I had filmed like full entire episodes of the group chat and then they would just like glitch where I couldn't open the file and like
Oh my god, would
7
throw my phone
characters.
out the window.
Oh, I really almost did. And then at some point I was like, "Mom, I
Need
need
a
a new
new
phone.
phone.
Like, where
Mhm.
do we have an upgrade on the plan?"
Right.
Because 7 characters, 7 different hairstyles, makeup, lines, lighting, moving furniture around my apartment to get angles. Like, mm.
Yeah.
And one of them was an episode where they were out to dinner. And so it wasn't just me like in my sweatpants in my bedroom. It was like the full looks, like all in dresses and like full hair and makeup. And I like put sparkles on for Haley and then took them off for Sloan. And like it was so much work.
Yeah.
And because they were supposed to be at a restaurant, it wasn't just like Allison and Sloan in their bed and Maddie in the bathroom. They all had to be sitting around a table, but the angles had to look different. I was like
Right.
literally moving my table and the bar cart out of the way to make room.
We need to
And
do
then
it
at the end
again.
of the night, it was all glitched and I cried. I cried for like 2 hours, called my manager. I was
I
like,
don't blame
"I
you.
need a break for like 3 days and I'll come back to it." Like, they're gonna have to wait for the next episode. I was so frustrated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so everyone be nice to my sister.
Or my sister will beat you up.
I won't do that. I'll just say, like, really, really unkind things behind your back.
Yeah.
Just to Sydney and my mom and my
You
husband.
I do remember a few times in elementary school, there was one boy who was, like, really mean to me. I don't even remember what you did. I just remember you going up to him in the lunchroom, and then he was crying when we went back after
Wait, who was
lunch.
it? I don't remember that.
You don't remember that?
No.
Because there was also in high school, there was the other one, which you do remember when I was, like, crying in the bathroom.
Hmm. Did I say something to him?
Yeah. You and your guy friends, you got them to say he walked through the hallway and you were like, "Ew."
That's all I said?
No,
Pretty nice
you said
considering.
more things, but I would have to say his name for you to, like, go through the
Oh,
whole thing,
yeah,
but you
yeah.
literally were like, "Ew," what,
Even
like
though oh, the computer. Let's just make sure the mics are still working. Pause.
No.
Anyway, before I move on from Traitors, I just want to say the editors on the Traitors show are absolutely diabolical the way that they are editing people eating food. So Michael Rappaport, I mean, everyone on the internet is talking about how they're showing him eating
But
spaghetti, and
also,
like
what the fuck was that?
you're kind of asking for that to be shown if you're gonna eat like that on
Yeah.
camera. Now, this is like way less weird, but how many shots were there of people eating whole hard-boiled eggs on this episode?
Oh, and Rob's like almost like
Yeah.
sucking on it. I was like,
Rob
what's
and
going
Steven,
on?
I think someone else, like, I'm good,
I feel like
actually.
reality shows do that a lot. There's even ones of
Mhm.
Big Brother, like in Big Brother, when they
Yeah.
cut to the person they're talking about and they always cut to them doing just the weirdest shit.
It's actually really mean. I think that's why I couldn't go on Big Brother. Oh,
Yeah.
that we did talk about that, and that probably got cut out, but I don't want, like, to be on camera 24/7, and if I eat weird a certain way, just I don't wanna know, and I don't want other people to know. Just
Yeah.
let me eat my weird way that I eat or whatever it is that I'm
Yeah.
doing.
Why? Because I would love to be on Traitors and I would just have to really, really be careful.
Yeah, but you're not being filmed 24/7, so I think
Yeah,
you'd
but I
be
would have to
okay.
watch the way I eat food. I would be
Mm.
scared. Even who's the girl on Traitors? I can never remember her name. I think her name's like Kristen. She's a chef.
Yeah, Kristen.
Kristen, there was a clip that she actually addressed on TikTok because she is a chef and she used the knife that she used to cut her bread. She used the back of the knife to butter the bread and she was like really struggling. I think just because the butter wasn't soft.
I don't think that's crazy,
No,
but
but
I
so
don't
many
recall
people
the
were
clip.
like, "Oh, a chef using like a bread knife to try to like butter her bread." And she literally made a video being like, "I don't even know why I have to explain this, but like I didn't want to dirty a second knife and like I just
Yeah,
used the back of the knife and the butter wasn't spreading. I'm not stupid. I'm a chef.
right,
I know how to use the knife."
right.
And then she has a tattoo of a butter knife on her arm. So she was like, "I have a butter knife on my arm. I know what a butter knife is. Thank
Yeah,
you."
that's funny.
So funny. But yeah, I feel like there's a new possibility for me with Traitors because I was always dying to be on Big Brother, but didn't want to be filmed 24/7.
I think you should focus on a scripted TV show that you write and
Yeah,
star
but I
in.
like love the game show shit.
I
Like I
know,
want to
but
do it so much. I hope one day I'm famous enough to be on Traitors.
I think you're gonna be more famous. You're gonna be too famous where you're actually not a good fit for
I feel like
traders.
you're jinxing me. Right now I'm just like a random TikTok bitch. That only happens if the TV show gets picked up. But,
When it gets picked up.
thanks.
My hair is so staticky. This happened on our trial run episode.
Do you want
No, I
water?
don't want to put water in my hair. Do you want to wet the hair you spent time doing this morning before we recorded? No, I do
Well,
not.
it's
Thank
better
you.
than it's sticking to your face if it's bothering you.
It's fine.
Is it the sweatshirt?
No, it's just
Oh, is that the favorite daughter sweatshirt? I literally refuse to wear that. So for Christmas, our mother got us both these sweatshirts that say favorite daughter. And something interesting to know about my family, my sister is blatantly my mother's favorite. I made a joke about
she's
it
gonna
in my
cry seeing this online.
it's fine. Like like my mom also loves me. She's a great mom, but like dad and I have more in common and you and mom have more in common. You're more similar. And so you've just always been like closer, but I made a joke about it in my maid of honor speech at your wedding where
Yeah,
I was
that
like
was
much like my
so
mother, the
funny.
universe favors you and
You're gonna have to post that now again.
it's yeah, I think it has like 4 million views or something. I
Oh my god,
posted it. Yeah.
does it?
Yo, people love
Wow.
that speech. It was a good
Okay.
speech.
It was really good.
I spent a minute on it.
Mhm.
I spent months on it.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But anyway, my mom got us favorite daughter sweatshirts, and I was like, "This is a lie. I'm not wearing this."
And what would you have said if she just got the sweatshirt for me and not you?
I would have laughed because it's true.
No, it would not have been
She could have
funny.
made dad give
Okay,
me
if you don't
one.
want it, I'll wear it. I like yours too.
Okay, I'll give it to you. It's
Thanks.
literally at the bottom of my drawer. I also am just not
Oh my
like a
god, mom, sorry, she's hurting your feelings.
sorry, mom. I'm not a fashionable sweatshirt person. Like I just like
What?
a bag, but this is like a baggy lounge sweatshirt. Like
I
I would
bought that
never.
for her.
She did for my birthday. Because boys, all your boys lie sweatsuits. I was like, they're so and
Every time I wear, you're like, "Oh, I love that."
yeah, I don't know why, but I could have bought one for myself in all the months that I've been envying yours, but like just never got around to it. And so it was
No,
a
you
good
didn't have
thing
to. I
I
got it
wouldn't
for you.
yeah, that was a good gift because I wouldn't buy it for myself.
Right.
And you bought it for me.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so we wrapped up Traitors. Also came out last night, and I'm gonna check the mics again because
I think they're fine.
I'm just paranoid now. So we wrapped up Traitors. Also came out last night was Bridgerton.
Mhm.
Very exciting. Actually, like to be completely real, like I'm a little bit less excited for this season than I have been for past ones, but still exciting. I only watched one.
Yeah, so there were 4 episodes that came out, part 1. Part 2 comes out February 26th, the next 4.
Yeah.
We agreed we're only gonna watch 1 episode a week and recap because it's just
too
It's way too
much to
much.
do on the
I think
podcast.
we've already been recording for over an hour and we have only talked about Traitors.
Yeah.
So, um, I initially said I was not excited about this season because the trailer it was very Cinderella-esque
Yeah.
and I want Bridgerton. I come to Bridgerton for Bridgerton. If I want to watch Cinderella, I'll watch Cinderella.
Yeah.
But I really did like the first episode.
Yeah, I also think it is funny. I do feel that there were a lot, and when we talked about this, when the trailer dropped, and you were like, if I wanted to watch Cinderella, I would watch A Cinderella Story, one of the greatest movies of our generation,
I
which is
stand by
so
that.
accurate.
Yeah.
I actually feel that this was a lot closer to A Cinderella Story than the original Cinderella.
Well, in some ways, like he takes her glove and not her shoe.
Yeah.
In the modern in the peak Chad Michael Murray, iconic film of our time, it's her cell phone,
It's also,
which how is she living without, by the way?
yeah, her bedazzled flip phone.
Yeah.
So funny. But it was also the masks. It's a masquerade ball.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, they kind of especially in this, they had to do that. So, something I appreciated was that we were not acting like the masks were keeping us from knowing who anyone was.
Yes.
Except for Penelope, which is quite silly.
Yeah.
Come on. You know that that's her.
I
She's
think
standing with
because
her husband like all night long.
But the red hair is such a signature thing for, and I wonder if that was just her real hair because
I was
she's
thinking
blonde
that.
in real life. Her
Yeah.
hair looks really good.
Really good.
I love the costumes.
Great. Her costume, amazing. Colin's costume, hate. I also don't. I
Yeah,
just like don't really care for him, but
me
I
neither.
thought his costume was meh.
Yeah. Actually, one of my favorite costumes was the mom.
Yeah, she looked
She looked
amazing.
amazing. And
Yeah.
her hair, they never have her hair down.
Right.
She looks so good. I'm really into her little side romance this season.
Yes.
Really love. But no, not just the masquerade thing, which that wasn't in the original Cinderella, but it was in A Cinderella Story for the same reason it was in this because they would have recognized Sam if she didn't have the
Who's
mask on
Sam?
from A Cinderella Story.
Oh.
Sorry, they would have recognized Hilary Duff
Right.
if she had just gone.
I thought you were just getting another name wrong.
No,
Sophie, because her
but
name's Sophie, the main girl.
I wouldn't even remember that if you didn't say it. So you're not wrong to think that. But no, they did the masks for the same reason. But also, and this is a small thing, and I don't know if like maybe I'm the only one who got it, but he takes her out to the gazebo and they dance to no music.
Yeah.
And it was very much giving.
Do you think they're giving a nod to A Cinderella Story? Like, feels kind of random.
I don't know. I low key feel like they are because not a lot of it follows the actual original Cinderella, and even the dad, like they don't talk that much about the dad in the original Cinderella fairy tale and what happened, but they do talk about it a lot in the Cinderella story. How he brought Fiona and she
Yeah,
didn't.
but we don't know anything about that at episode 1 right now about Sophie's dad.
Well,
So we don't know if that's
Oh, it
parallel.
was in the trailer. It was just in the trailer.
Oh, okay.
Because like her
Okay.
stepmom and whatever.
Is that her step? Yeah, we don't have a lot of information about her.
Mm.
So it's unclear to me what the relationship is there, and I'm sure we'll get more, and I'm sure it's already out there if you've watched the next. I have not watched more, but I did just want to say because I don't want to wind us back to the masks and then her mask actually covered her entire face, and I was so appreciative of that.
Yeah.
Because genuinely, I think you would not have known that was her.
Yeah. We also do again know from the trailer that she is like, I don't know if she's a maid or if she's
something within.
She's like a worker of some sort. Because they show that in the trailer
for a family who's part of society.
Right. But I don't like, even if she had showed up with nothing on her face, the only people she would have to be worried about recognizing her are the family that she works for. Like, I still don't think that what's his name? Benedict?
Mhm.
I don't think Benedict would have known who she was.
No, he wouldn't.
Right. But I did appreciate that the mask actually covered her whole face. And
Right.
I loved the dress and the mask. She looked great.
I thought her dress was meh.
Well, it's supposed to kind of be like
meh?
reminiscent of Cinderella.
Oh. Yeah,
So it
meh.
had to be that kind of like silver dress.
Yeah, but it could have been silver and then a totally different dress.
That's true, I guess.
It looks similar kind of to all the dresses that the girls wear when they are going out in society with the feathers for the first time.
That's true.
That's a white dress with the cap sleeves. Like, I just wasn't impressed.
Yeah. There also was I completely forgot about Francesca in her entirety and her whole plotline because I really feel like it was shoved into the end of last season that she like met this guy and they got married.
Yeah, she was a very side plot that they didn't spend much time on.
And they show it like a second of them in bed and I was like, who is that? I literally didn't even know who it was. It was like the very beginning of the episode. Yeah, they did like the very beginning of the episode and I was like, literally who is that?
Mm-hmm.
But the whole time that they're at the masquerade ball and she's the mask on, I'm thinking she's Daphne. And I'm like, why are they not showing Daphne? And then when the husband came over, I was like, that's not Simon.
No.
So then I realized, and I actually had to Google it. I completely forgot that Francesca was even a character.
Yeah.
And I,
Well, she wasn't in any other season besides last season. They just introduced her as if she'd always been there. All the other kids who,
yeah,
even if they weren't main characters, were in every season.
right.
But she was nowhere to be found. And then all of a sudden, I think they said something that she was studying abroad, perhaps. Like they tried to make an excuse for it, but
Do you know what's interesting though? And I remember noticing this when I was sort of like on my conspiracy series on TikTok and trying to find like holes in Bridgerton or trying to find like if they were alluding to certain things. Francesca's not in any of the portraits around the house that they show in season 1. And like she doesn't she have a
oh, you
book?
were really in the hole there.
I mean, I'm looking at the kids and there's literally a portrait of all of them and she's just straight up not there. Like it's
Yeah, because
Hyacinth
they
is
didn't,
there.
she was an afterthought.
Did she have a book?
Hyacinth.
Hyacinth?
Sydney hates that
I
name.
hate that name. They really could have done better with that name. I know
Yeah,
they're
Henrietta.
you did say Henrietta off the top of your head last time we talked about this. I know, like, I'm sure to get like a name that sort of fits the period and starts with an H, like maybe but Hyacinth?
Well, I think is that a flower? I think
I
some of
don't
them are
know.
supposed to be
Are you
flowers.
thinking of hibiscus?
Oh, maybe.
I'm like, I don't think hyacinth is a flower.
Yeah, because also Daphne's not a flower and Eloise is not a flower.
No. Also, Eloise.
Violet's a flower.
I fucking hated Eloise's costume. I think
Oh,
she's
yeah.
so pretty.
Can we just like enough with the microbangs in every show?
Yeah.
Pippa and Tell Me Lies. No more microbangs. I just want to ban microbangs in real life and in TV and
But
in
she
movies.
doesn't have microbangs. That was just the costume.
Well, she has bangs.
They're full bangs though.
Yeah, yeah,
Because she
they're
was in the
full, yeah,
beginning of
yeah.
the episode. That was just the wig she was wearing. I think they tried to put her in less of like a really feminine costume because Eloise doesn't have
She was
like
supposed to be like Joan of Arc or something.
fine, but like I just thought it was ugly. Like I get that they're not
Wait.
trying to make her super feminine, but I just like
I
what?
loved her. I loved her outfit. Oh my God, my throat.
For the masquerade?
I loved her outfit for her. I did not like her wig.
She looked like a Blue Incredibles character to me.
Hold on, let me see who she was supposed to be playing.
Okay.
It's a nod to like her feminism, so I think it makes a lot of sense.
Okay, fine. I like Eloise is my favorite character. I relate to her a lot. She's like, I'm on the shelf. I'm like, me too, bitch. Me too. I mean,
Yeah, she's like the ripe age of 21 or whatever she's supposed to be.
yeah.
Oh yeah, Joan of Arc. Oh my God, I'm
You're
a
so
genius.
smart.
Okay.
Okay, so it makes sense, but I just whatever. I didn't like
Yeah.
it. It makes sense for a character, and again, I get that she's probably not supposed to be looking super feminine, and it's not with Eloise's character, but I just hated it. She's so like, and I want more of Eloise. I think
Same.
she is the most, I will say, prevalent sibling in every season that's not been her season, which I
Right.
appreciate because I really do love her. But I'm like so ready for her season.
Does she have a season, or is she just perpetually in every season, but it's not the focus?
She has a book.
Does she? I don't know.
Yeah, I think she has a book.
Okay.
So she should have a season. I liked her little mini
Can
plot with.
Can Shonda Rhimes let us know what's up?
Yeah, can we
Can
know
you
if we're
comment on
getting-
this YouTube video?
It should be. I would think it should be next season. I've waited long enough. I'm fucking over it.
I thought we were gonna get something, her whole storyline, but this was in 2 seasons ago, season 2.
With Theo.
Her with Theo,
Mm.
I thought was gonna turn into something, and then the following season, it was just like that never happened. We didn't
Yeah.
talk about him anymore. We never saw him again. It was like he never existed.
It in a way, I do feel like that was one of those plot points that was cheated to get to a bigger plot point, and I literally think they put that in there as a way to get her to realize that Penelope was Whistledown.
Yeah, but they kind of made him important, and it was the only person that she had ever actually been interested in.
Yeah.
They had all of these commonalities, and they thought the same, and the feminism, and the whatever else they talked about.
Yeah.
Sorry, just saying it's just feminism.
Whatever,
That's really
yeah.
all it is. And I thought that was going to be something like, oh, there's an ass for every chair kind of thing.
Yes. But I'm saying I think they just ran with the Whistledown part of that plot. Like it was like Whistledown wrote about her and Theo. She like runs out crying. She's really upset. It almost got Theo fired. Like there's this whole thing. And then they just ran with the portion where she's mad at Penelope.
Right.
And they just, they dropped Theo and never went back to it. I thought the same thing. And I actually liked them. I thought they were cute.
Yeah.
And it's hard to imagine because Eloise is so like just icked out by men and like that's just not really her personality to be like boy crazy. it was hard to imagine what it would look like for Eloise to be interested in someone.
Mhm.
And they did a really good job of it with Theo. It
Agreed.
made sense. It didn't feel awkward. Like I
Right.
really liked it. And
And if someone was gonna be the one to marry someone who was in, like, the working class, I thought she was a good choice. Now, Benedict, his love interest is part of the working class. I don't know.
yeah,
I don't know if I'm buying it.
I'm just and I said this before. I think when like obviously first season was Daphne and Simon, but we learned a
Oh,
lot. Miss
best.
it, really miss it. But we learned a lot about Anthony in that season. We learned about his trauma with the bee
Mhm.
and all the other things. Like we knew a lot about him going into his season. And then in his season, we got a lot of Colin and Penelope. So when
Yep.
we went into Colin and Penelope season, it was a lot about them. We don't know anything about Benedict. The only thing I know is that he like fucking draws.
All we know is he's a rake.
He's what?
A rake.
Oh yeah.
I love the word rake, and I really think we should be using that, in everyday modern language.
No, it's fair enough.
Yeah.
I don't remember. Okay, so I saw a clip on TikTok, and I'm gonna be honest. When I watched the first episode of Bridgerton, I'm packing because I'm moving in like 3 days. I was like half watching it, and I couldn't remember if this happened in the first episode or if I just saw it on TikTok. So I'm like kind of scared to say it. But was there a scene
Are you gonna
where?
spoil something?
No, I'm just gonna kind of like allude to it and see if you know what I'm talking about. Was there a scene where Benedict was at like a party that wasn't a society party?
Yeah.
Okay.
He was Yeah, but nothing happened. He
Oh.
kissed a man.
That's what I was gonna
Oh,
say.
okay, yeah.
I have been saying since season 1 that I thought Benedict was bi because there's a
Wait, there was there was stuff of him with guys in season 1, I think.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
He had
okay.
yeah.
I
When
just
that scene came on, Aaron was in the room and he was like, "Wait, is this his whole season? Him and this guy?" I was like, "No, this guy is no one. Like Benedict is gonna end up just like in a
a relationship with
classic
this girl.
relationship with a woman." I don't know what they're including this guy for. I think just to show his lifestyle and like where he is currently.
Yeah, I also think it goes into him being more of like a free spirit kind of character.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
wouldn't have
yeah.
honestly, I might have been happier if they put Benedict with a guy and that was his storyline
As
than
long as
this.
the guy was hot, like all I
Yeah.
need is a hot cast. I'm extremely shallow in that way.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
But I would have actually
Yeah, you
yeah,
are.
you are. It would have been a nice change of pace, I feel. Like I almost would have preferred and all the
Right, like
context that
let's
comes
break the
with
mold
that.
a little.
Right.
It's not supposed to be historically accurate, so it doesn't need to be,
Yeah.
right?
And there have already been all these kinds of things of like breaking the rules of society to fall in love. And I'm like, that would have been a really good one. Like, would society accept a gay male couple? I don't know, but it would have been really interesting.
In this series, of course they would have.
Well, yeah, they would
They
have
accept
come around.
everything.
That is true. In
Yeah.
the end, though. And it's
Right,
really
right.
just when the queen decides to say that it's fine.
True,
Yeah.
true.
Oh, and her
Wait,
costume, the
maybe
Queen
we're
of
headed in that
Hearts.
direction.
I
Maybe
would
he's
kind
gonna
of
end
love
up with the
that.
man, and the queen's gonna be like, "Oh my god, this is like the gossip of the season that I have been salivating for."
I would high key love that. I'm just like, do we need another like vanilla heterosexual like storyline that feels very like
We're not gonna
50
do
Shades of
better
Grey?
than Daphne and the Duke, so we might as well stop
No.
trying.
I will say I really loved season 2.
I just that I like have a deep obsession with Jonathan Bailey.
Yeah.
So kind of anything he does, I'm gonna be on board for.
Yeah.
So I also love season 2. I think he's a fabulous actor and he's very attractive
Yeah.
and enjoyable to watch.
Mm.
But
I
I
think
didn't think that romance was as good as Daphne and Simon.
I tend to love an enemies to lovers storyline like
Yeah, but
more.
Daphne and Simon at a time kind of were too.
Mm,
I do like an enemies to lovers trope. Of course, who doesn't?
I would venture to say I like season 2 better than season 1. And yeah, I know that's like a really it's kind of like a hot opinion. I think part of the thing for me, and maybe this is because I've never like you're married, like I've never like been in like
I'm
such a
married.
yeah, did you know? I made you a really expensive ring if you're not. Um yeah, I think like for me and maybe it's because I've never had like that really deep like in love romance, but I was like it just was a little too 50 Shades of Grey for me. I don't know.
But what does that have to do with like romance?
The first
Those things are
season,
really different.
I just felt like it was a little bit more like mushy. I also liked there was something about Anthony and what was her name?
Kate.
Kate. I liked that Kate was like more of like a mature, experienced woman who like you just watch them fall in love. I think some
Well,
of the
that's the
Daphne
point.
I
Daphne
know.
was younger, and there I think a lot of that plot line is that they wanna show you how naive these women were.
Yes,
They didn't
I
know
can
anything, and they weren't
respect it.
allowed to know anything.
I can respect it, but I didn't enjoy watching it. It icked
Oh,
me out a
I
little bit.
loved
I'm
it.
like, her just being so like, I don't know, like,
Innocent?
yeah, not innocent because it's not a bad thing, but it's just like having to like teach her everything, her going back and telling her mom, like, you didn't tell me what sex was. And then their scene in bed when he's like, this may hurt a moment. I'm just like, I don't know. It was like a little bit too much for me. I was like, I'm not really feeling this.
You're alone in that. I loved every second of it.
I kind of hated it, but I really I liked Kate and Anthony because I feel like they were just a little bit older. There didn't have to be all of that stuff. I get that it's part of the time, but I do think a lot in me. I was saying this actually to mom the other day. I was like, there's so much in media where like girls have to be like innocent and not know that they're pretty and like be these innocent little flowers until a man like saves them and shows them what it is to be a woman. And I like that Kate was already a fucking woman. She was like, here I am. I know what I'm doing. I'm old enough.
You know, I can appreciate two truths at once. I can appreciate a woman who just needs a little saving and a woman who does not need a little saving.
I didn't hate the season. I liked it. I just preferred the second season.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I liked season 1, but it just was a little bit more like touchy and intimate and like it reminded me of 50 Shades of Grey. It very much felt more like a fanfic.
You clearly have never seen 50 Shades of Grey.
I have seen it.
No.
I mean, it was less like sexual, but I felt like it felt
That's the entire point of 50 Shades. Is how sexual it is.
I think it gave me
like
the
bondage.
same.
There's no bondage in Bridgerton season 1.
That's fair, but it gave me the same feeling of just like being like,
Okay,
just
well,
wanting to look away from the TV.
this season, we don't know what we're gonna get from a sex standpoint.
No.
But we do know already what we're getting from a mushy, as you called it, standpoint. And I was not really on board with this whole idea where like he sees her through the crowd and he's like, oh, you're the one. Come on. We couldn't think of anything a little bit more clever than love at first sight.
Yeah.
I'm
Agreed.
over that. I was like not vibing.
And
with.
again, like saving her from another man. He's like, oh, I have her dance card and I believe I'm the next name. It's just like, okay.
Your British accents are really something.
But I can totally do like a mediocre Australian accent.
It's not needed right now.
It's so true, but it's better than my British one. I'm also doing like the man British accent where it's like overdone.
Yeah.
I do start watching Bridgerton and I feel like I start it's like
speaking in a British
just
accent.
around like my apartment. I'm just like, oh, I wonder where I put that shirt. Like I'm just like I start saying it to myself. Lady Bernstein.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think that's all we have for Bridgerton.
Okay,
yeah.
but like now, since we are going to go to Tell Me Lies, speaking of being icked out, everything about this, the ending of Tell Me Lies, we can start at the beginning, but the ending of the episode.
Can you give me like the briefest, because you know my brain's working
Yeah.
like at quarter speed. Just give me like a 2-sentence recap
of the episode?
Yes.
So we start with Bree. Okay, so Bree and Wrigley go drive to see Bree's mom.
Mm-hmm.
We have the pool party where Chris confronts Lucy.
Yep.
And then who's the new guy that Lucy's seeing? I forgot his name. Alex.
Alex
finds out about the sexual assault thing and he starts
yeah.
treating her differently. And
he
then
wants to like make love and she's like gross.
Yeah. And then she goes home and starts masturbating to the sound of Steven yelling at her. And I was like, what the fuck is happening here?
Mm-hmm.
So backtracking to the beginning, I
think the first scene, one of the first scenes is Diana on the phone with like someone from Yale. Oh, with her dad. She's finding out she just got into Yale Law School. And she's like, oh my God, that's amazing. And then it pans out and she's sitting under the Planned Parenthood sign. I thought that was really funny.
It was. But I also felt like I love Diana. As you've said before, she's the only voice of reason in this entire show.
Yeah.
I felt like so happy that she got that great news before she had to go through an uncomfortable medical procedure. She doesn't seem to be super emotional about the abortion in that way. And
it's Steven's child. And as her precise words were, she couldn't wait to abort that child.
Yeah. I also must say, I love that they're not making her super emotional about it. I feel like every time there is an abortion in some TV show, it's always depicted as like this horrible decision. I'm like, what about the women who are just sure?
Yeah.
And they're like,
I'm not ready to have a child.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to Yale.
And she's
she's not going to go to Yale if Steven goes to Yale.
I am curious to see how that turns out. But I was right. I said to you a while ago that I knew that plot point was going to come back around of her faking doing bad on the LSATs and not being in touch with her dad. I was like, Steven is going to find out. And I'm
sad for her. There was a time when I thought Diana has been marked safe from Steven DeMarco. And now he has these pictures of her.
I wanted to die.
That's terrible.
I really wanted to die.
Yeah.
Okay, but so
that's like my as a woman, that's like a worst nightmare. Something like that happening.
And it was 2009, and I feel like that was kind of the beginning of like
Like,
flip
nudes were a
phones
lot
and
more scandalous. Now it's
yeah.
like everyone knows everyone has sent nudes. It's like we've all seen Jennifer Lawrence's nudes, and they were like fire, and it's kind of like,
Yeah.
okay.
I also think
I still like
now
that would still be like a nightmare for anyone, like not to diminish because that would be terrible. But
100%.
I think at that time it was definitely more scandalous.
Yeah, and also it was sort of a newer thing. Not that like nudes were new, but I feel like the idea of doing it on a flip phone and the idea of being able to send it around so quick. Like if you had a Polaroid nude, you'd physically show it to people.
And not everyone could have a copy.
Right.
Yeah.
This was sort of the beginning of that, and that is when girls were just starting to figure out that you don't put your head in a nude.
Well, they obviously weren't figuring it
Well,
out.
Molly said it because Molly talked about how Evan had nudes of her,
Oh,
and she was like, he said her head's not even in it, and that was what gave Steven the light bulb. Oh, I
right.
have nudes of Diana, and her face is in it.
Right. Right.
That
Right.
was Diana didn't know to not have her face in
I'm
those
sad for
photos.
her.
I'm really I when I saw that scene unfolding, I was like genuinely so fucking heated, and like for a girl that's so like serious and wants to become a lawyer, like it would
And
have been better off
she's
happening to
so
Lucy.
smart and sound of mind. Yeah,
Yeah.
Lucy's already like completely fucked. Just send her news out.
Yeah, like why the fuck not?
She doesn't know how to make a smart decision to save her life.
Also, like Lucy, not to say that like we know what Lucy's life is gonna look like, but she's not like as career driven as Diana.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be great for none of this
Wouldn't
is
be
going to
great for
pan out
anyone.
well for Lucy. It's not good for her life,
Yeah.
but we just love Diana. We just see her bright future
Yeah.
being dulled.
I really love Diana.
Hopefully not. We're gonna see how she handles it.
I am wondering, like, I don't know if it just if like the thought didn't occur to her, and again, if it wasn't like really a sensationalized thing to know that like nudes could be sent around and everyone could keep a copy, but like you must know somewhere in the back of your mind that Steven has those photos because she was posing for them. It's not like he took them when she was looking away. How
She probably forgot.
I guess, but I wish she had remembered and not said anything to like I get the wanting to piss off Steven, but in the library being like, "I wouldn't go to Yale if you were going," and the prior episode when she's like, "I'm so excited to abort your baby," I'm like, "I wish you just actually cut Steven off and never said anything to him at all instead of trying to piss him off," because
She's only human in the end of the day. She wants the satisfaction of saying these things to him
I
and
know.
basically saying, "I pulled the wool over your eyes."
Yeah.
But she immediately said to Pippa after that scene, I shouldn't have said, "Oh, well, this was when they had the fight in her dorm room." She said to Pippa, "I shouldn't have said those things. Steven is not someone who forgets things
Yeah.
or who lets things go."
Yeah.
So she is aware that she kind of made a mistake there.
Yeah.
She let the anger get the best of her.
100%. And if it wasn't the nudes, he would have found something else because he's a
Right.
vindictive piece of shit.
Right.
I fucking hate him.
Yeah.
Everyone does, obviously, but like this season is really bringing it to a whole new level because I feel like season one, it was the typical like irresponsible man child who like is a little bitch. Now we're getting around to like truly evil, vindictive fucking territory. And I'm like, I don't know how we get to Evan and Bree's wedding in 5 years from now
Right.
and you're still part of the friend group. Like it's
Right.
genuinely beyond me how we got there. But we got at the end of the prior episode, we did get that kind of confirmation that it is Bree and Wrigley.
Yeah.
And I kind of fucking love that.
I love it.
I love them.
Yeah.
I'm like so
well,
fine for them to cheat.
I don't think it's cheating. Well, Pippa's already cheating.
Yeah.
Bree and Evan aren't technically in a relationship at the moment.
Yeah.
Even though Bree at the end of the episode kind of alludes to that because Wrigley didn't kiss her. So she's
Right.
like trying to kind of
But Evan cheated on her with Lucy.
she doesn't know that.
She doesn't
But
know
yeah.
about Lucy, but she knows Evan cheated.
Right. But from Wrigley and Pippa, I think they both have one foot out of the relationship. It's a relationship of convenience. And Wrigley's having like an emotional affair at this point.
Yeah.
And Pippa's having she fully has a girlfriend.
I just didn't expect to. I guess we haven't gotten a lot of like Wrigley and Bree even having conversations in previous seasons, and I wasn't.
Yeah.
Expecting...
Well, we weren't getting Wrigley having any full thoughts at all. Period.
Also true. Also true. But considering that we're only like 4 episodes into the season, they've done a great job of 5. They've done a really great job of cultivating this relationship to the point where we're all really feeling it off of nothing. Like it's really not coming from any context of a previous season where you have Wrigley and Bree even really interacting.
Right.
They've done a great job with minimal time because there's so much other plot to cover in the show. I'm like just loving them. I really
They're so cute.
They have such a great connection.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Wrigley, they really do both bring out great sides of each other.
Yeah.
And
I'm curious what ends up keeping them apart because ultimately Pippa gets together with Diana
Mm,
in a public way. We don't know much about how that happens.
yeah.
And Bree and Evan right now are not together. Why couldn't that have worked out? I guess we'll find out.
I don't know. I did see a theory that was something like maybe Bree's mom gets involved somehow when she realizes that Evan's family has money. And
Hmm.
there's something to that.
They didn't show Bree's mom at the wedding unless they did, and I didn't know who she was, and so I didn't clock that.
Yeah, I didn't clock that either.
I'm
But
sure TikTok will tell us.
or maybe she doesn't even get to the wedding, but she can get involved in present day now that we've met her mom. Also, I don't know if you noticed. You probably didn't. This is very niche. Nobody cares about this movie as much as I do. But Bree's mom was Sydney from Nerve with Emma Roberts. The like attention whore friend who plays Nerve originally.
You're the only person alive who's seen Nerve more than 1 or 0 times.
Fine, but I was just really proud of myself that I clocked that so
Okay.
fast. I saw her face for 0.2 seconds and I was like,
She has very memorable teeth. She does. She's kind of looks like it's similar to like Amy Lou. What's her last name? Did you watch White Lotus?
yeah, but I don't know who you're talking about.
The girl with the teeth.
That everyone was supposed
Yeah.
to. That's my worst nightmare because I mean I'm getting my teeth fixed in a few weeks, but like I have like genetically small teeth, and I'm like I hope people don't like remember me for my teeth.
Yeah, I'm sorry for saying that.
No, it's fine.
Oh my god, don't
we,
cancel me.
it's okay. We talk about this all the time.
No, but to Amy, sorry, not to you.
It's already been all over TikTok, and people have been talking about her teeth.
I mean, SNL did that whole terrible thing about her teeth.
that
so.
was mean.
Yeah, it was
That's
mean.
not like saying and mentioning it in a podcast that you're like, oh, your teeth are your identifier. They like really went in on her, and it was
Right.
so unnecessary.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. They
yeah.
are terrible, and I am not terrible.
You are not terrible. No, it's okay. You get the pass. As someone with bad teeth, I give you the pass.
You don't have bad teeth, by
They're
the
not
way.
bad. They're just small.
They're just not what you would like them to be.
I just need to get them bonded because they're tiny.
A work in progress.
A work in progress. Getting it done.
Mhm.
But yeah, the other theory that I saw, which is just like, I'm like, why? Is that Bree's mom is going to go to the art show, and then the professor that Bree's been sleeping with is going to realize that Bree is his daughter.
No, I've seen that theory too.
It's
I don't
so
think so.
stupid. I'm like,
No.
I know Tell Me Lies is like a really twisted show, but I don't think we're gonna border on incest. Like that's
Right.
too much. That's too much.
I also they'd have to do a lot of like twisting and turning to make that make sense.
Yeah, 100%. But I have seen theories that maybe Bree's mom is the one that Bree's on the phone with the morning of the wedding, even though they make it look like Wrigley because he's been calling her. I don't know about that. There's a lot.
I could see that.
Yeah. I think
true.
it's really interesting with the flash forward. Like there's so much context they're missing and there's so many places that they could go with it. But yeah, I do wonder what keeps her and Wrigley apart. Because right now there's really not any reason. I don't even think Pippa would be that upset.
But Bree doesn't know. Pippa wouldn't be upset because Pippa's in love with Diana, but no one knows that. So
Yeah.
I think what mainly is keeping them apart is her best friend is dating him.
Yeah.
But I guess the question really is, when does that come to an end?
But clearly in the future, Pippa knows because Wrigley says to her on the dance floor
Yeah.
at the wedding, like,
Yeah.
I'm pretending that you're the one I'm still in love with. So I could see that keeping them apart at first, but what happens in the long run?
Right.
Yeah. I don't know.
Unless oh wait, I was gonna say, is it Steven doing some blackmailing stuff? But clearly Steven didn't know because as he's watching them on the dance floor in episode 4.
He's figuring it out.
Right.
100%. Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm very curious to see where that all goes. That's probably one of my biggest questions right now. I almost like don't even care about the Lucy and Steven of it. But moving on to
I
the
forgot
pool
about her.
party. The Lucy, the main
Yeah.
character of the show.
Yeah.
Pool party scene. So like I was physically cringing when Chris went up to the raft to talk to Lucy.
Really, yeah.
So bad.
I just don't understand in what world she could have squashed this ages ago when
Yeah.
the principal, when her dean or her advisor, whoever called her into the office in this a setting where she was clearly safe, it was confidential.
Yeah.
She could have said, I actually was covering for a friend. This did not happen to me.
Yeah.
Like she's letting this go on in every possible scenario where she could stop it. She's not stopping it. It's getting worse and worse. And now we're getting to a point where how do you stop it without, well, Steven has this video, but how do you stop it without everyone thinking you're a liar?
Yeah.
Or that you're a terrible person? And like, it's just so painful to watch.
I know. Genuinely her reasoning for lying about it, like it's not great, but like it's like excusable. It is like and you could still protect Pippa and not bring Pippa into it and
Right.
explain the way that you did to Steven very quickly in that moment where you told him I was the other girl who it happened to didn't want to come forward and I didn't want him to get away with it. So I said it was me. Like, it wasn't smart, but it's a really easy thing to explain. I don't know why she didn't tell Alex either. Like, why would you let Alex think that happened when it's affecting your relationship with him so much rather than just say, it happened to someone that I know. I didn't want him to get away with it. And I said it was me because everyone was accusing this other girl of lying. And it made me sick to think that everyone was calling this girl a liar.
I think at this point, she's obviously resigned to going with the lie. She's not gonna tell the truth to anyone,
Yeah.
and that's a huge mistake.
I don't honestly, I am surprised when she went to Diana about it that Diana didn't tell her to just be to tell the
Well,
truth.
Diana said, "You're gonna make Katie look like a liar."
That is true.
But do you really I mean, you are sacrificing, like, yourself for Bree and also for Katie, like, you never should have got in this position in the first
Yeah.
place. The second it was brought up, you could have said, "I was protecting someone else," just that didn't happen.
Yeah. But I hate
Excuse me.
I am also wondering, like, there is some clear thing that's going to come out with what happened when Alex and Bree were kids that they've alluded to a lot. Bree's memory is really unstable about that time. She, like, tries to talk to her mom about the things that went on back then and, like
Even well, she tries to talk to her mom about what happened before she was in those foster homes,
right, like,
and
she
she doesn't
thinks
really accurately remember that her mom was not actually around.
really there. Yeah, so she's her memories on around that time are not great, and then Alex makes that comment where he's like, "Oh, you were bossy," and she's like, "I don't remember myself," and he's like, "Well, that was before everything."
I don't think they even have to go into detail. We understand that the foster parents were abusive in some aspect. They don't have to tell us how.
No, definitely not, but now Alex makes this comment like, "I'm really trying not to hurt people anymore," and I'm like,
Well, that might have nothing to do with Bree. He's like 25.
"That's true." I just feel like it all kind of goes into each other. Something about this, like, situation with Alex and then, like, making such a point about how he's, like, detached, but then when he finds out about Lucy, he's like, I really don't wanna hurt you, and if this is coming from a place of trauma, like, I just can't do that." I'm like, "What is happening here?"
Are you a good guy or not? I
Right.
want to label you. Can we be black and white here? Like, I don't want you in some gray area, even though that's how the world works.
I'm like,
Like,
is there a world in which, like, you used to be a piece of shit and you're, like, reformed? Like, is that what we're kind of getting at?
no, I think the opposite. I like maybe he was a really good guy and he hurt someone's feelings. And so now he's detached
Yeah,
and kind of like not allowing himself to be nice, to be emotional, to be heavily involved with anyone.
yeah. I also have to say that Lucy going to sleep with him in the same bathing suit that she'd been wearing all day kinda grossed me out.
UTI
UTI.
or
Yeah.
yeast infection.
Yeast infection, sorry, yeah, you're right. I don't know, like,
Could be either, right? Get a UTI.
no, I think UTI is different, I think UTI is different. Yeast infection would come that's what you get if you, like, wear your bathing suit all day or if you
Right.
like, in dance, if you wear a leotard. That's not what a UTI is,
So
it's different.
specific.
I just know because I was in dance, and so they
Right,
would
right.
always say, like, make sure if you have, like, 3 dance classes in a day, actually change out of your leotard and don't
Yeah.
just, like, put jeans over it and go to your class. That was, like, important.
Same as like working out. This is a
Yeah.
health class now.
You
Don't sit in your sweaty clothes,
don't sit in your sweaty clothes or anything
ladies.
that's wet or anything that has chlorine. Chlorine is like a can it's like forms yeast very quickly, actually. It's
Nice.
a fast acting. But yeah, she like goes to take a shower. Obviously, she doesn't because of the bucket of pee, which
Yeah.
what are we doing? Um, and then she goes and I thought like then her hair looks perfect and it had been in a ponytail and been wet. So I was like, okay, she showered and did her hair and then went to Alex, but then he took her shirt off and she was wearing the bathing suit. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
I actually noticed
Maybe she
that.
like just did her hair
Maybe she just did her hair and didn't
because she
shower.
was going to see him.
But I hate that whole scene of them sleeping together when he's like, "You know, it could be nice like this too," and she just looks so
She's like,
miserable.
I'm having the worst time.
Yeah. So then we finally get to that disturbing fucking scene of her listening to the recording of Steven,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, "Ah, how did we get here? How did we go back?" Like, Lucy was always a little twisted, but we're reaching, like, a whole new level of it now.
Yeah.
And is this all coming from the fact that she feels like shit about lying?
I mean, she's lied about so many things at this point.
That's true. I'm just like, is that why we're
Tell me
now
lies.
we got the show name in there.
Oh my God.
Holy
I
shit.
think I'm on to something.
It's like an epiphany. But it is weird. The whole thing is weird. Like she was always twisted, but is all of this like needing to have someone tell you that you're pathetic and all of that? Like, was that really always part of Lucy that we didn't know about? Or is that literally just coming from the fact that she feels like shit
Right,
about all
what's
these
the root
things?
of the problem? Is it very classic, like, daddy issues? But your dad was great, he just has passed away.
Right.
Like, yeah,
I don't know. But that scene obviously really icked me out as I think
icky.
it did everyone.
Yeah, except for the people who are into that stuff,
Yeah.
which there must be.
Clearly we're not done with Steven and Lucy. I don't know if they get back together or if he just releases the footage, but and we talked about this once before when we were just chatting, but the way that everyone in the future talks about her and Steven, I
He
almost
ruined your life sophomore year, they keep saying
and
that,
the
Pippa
way
keeps
that
saying
Pippa
that.
was like, you almost didn't come back from that. And not in the way where you're like annoyed with your friend who's like going back to this guy who's a piece of shit.
Right,
It isn't like a genuine, like
concern.
that affected me too.
Mhm.
And why did you do that? So I think there's probably some self-harm stuff that goes on. Also, they keep
Yeah, I
focusing
mean,
on the
the
burn.
curling i they're alluding to that with the curling iron.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I thought in that scene where she burns herself that something was gonna happen there, and then she just moves on from it, but yeah, they keep bringing up the curling iron, so clearly that's gonna become something like a self-harm tool for
yeah.
her.
I'm just like this show. I did really love
It's
the
dark.
balance. I was gonna say, I feel like in the first season and even really the second season, there was a lot of balance between the light and dark, and there were still a lot of fun, like college scenes. We had like the relationship of the girls. I'm like, now we're just getting into dark fucking
It's
territory.
so dark.
And I
I
don't know.
love it though, but
I
it's
love
whiz
it
really.
because it's interesting, but I'm like, I
Mhm.
don't know if we'll ever get any of that like fun.
The levity.
Yeah. And I kind of want it back. So I guess we'll see what happens in the next couple episodes, but
Yeah.
I am really curious to see how they're going to wrap up this
There's
season.
probably only 3. I don't know if they're gonna have 8 or 10. I don't remember what they had in previous
I
seasons,
think
but
they
they
might also be releasing this in 2 parts.
no.
No?
We already got 5 episodes. What's the second part?
I
Oh,
don't
5
know.
more?
Yeah, I think
Let me
so.
look. There are 8 episodes, and they are just coming out every week until the 17th, which
Okay.
is episode 8, the finale.
And this is not the final season. Like no one said anything about that, right?
I feel like I heard that somewhere online, but it may have just been speculation. I don't think that was rooted in anything.
These were books. So
Right.
is there a point where we're going to like I'm wondering what season is going to be the end of the book and are they going to
I
continue kind of making up plot outside of what was originally written?
I didn't read the books.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
Oh, I thought you did read the books.
No, I just knew that they were books.
I'm surprised because I feel like you've read every like kind of teen drama series that there is.
There are so many, and I only have so much time on my hands.
That's true.
So,
You
not every.
you did the really hard work when you were growing up. You read the vast majority of them. This just happened to be one that you didn't.
Right.
I am.
This also may have come out, like, past my time of reading those.
I have heard from a lot of people that the show is better than the book, which isn't usually the case.
I mean, it's a great show.
It really is good.
Yeah.
Also, what you said about a hot cast, like we got it.
We love a hot cast.
And again,
They're
I've said
so
this.
hot.
I'll say this like I'll beat this horse to the ground. I love Wrigley's hair this season.
He looks great.
He looks so good.
Yeah, I'm not liking the ponytail and the flash forwards.
No, and also clearly they're filming. This is funny, but they're clearly filming the flash forwards now. Like they didn't film that all when they filmed season 1 because you can see the slight differences in all of their hair. They're trying to make it look like he has the ponytail, so they're putting extensions and it looks weird.
Oh, I couldn't tell.
And same with Bree's hair because now it's short, so you can see the difference in her hair in the wedding scenes they filmed this season versus other seasons where they're almost like slicking it back and trying to make it look like it's in a bun, but you can see that she just doesn't have any hair.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
No, next time you watch it,
I'll
look
have
for
to
that.
make a
And
mental
Lucy's
note of
hair
the
is
hair.
like 5 shades blonder than it was before.
In the flash forwards, is it?
Yeah. In this season of Flash Forwards, her hair is just blatantly blonder than it was in the Flash Forwards from the other 2 seasons because she had more of like a strawberry blonde
Maybe
kind
she
of.
had a hair appointment in between the engagement party and the wedding.
She had time to sleep with Steven and do a whole bunch of other shit in between. So,
And that was the weekend of the wedding.
yeah, no, well, we've gotten Flash Forwards to the wedding in season 2.
Yeah, but you were saying in season 1, the flash forwards were not to the wedding.
No,
Just
they
the
weren't.
engagement party.
Fine. Let me
Between the
rephrase
engagement
that.
party and the wedding, maybe Lucy got some highlights.
Yeah, but we did get flash forwards of the wedding in season 2, and her hair looks different in season 2 than 3. So unless she had an appointment after leaving the bridal room where they're all getting ready, sleeping with Steven, coming back, did she also get her hair dyed?
Apparently.
Apparently she did. They should show that scene in the cut extended scenes. That would be great. We should wrap this up now because it's been forever.
It's gonna be fun to edit.
This is gonna be so fun to edit. But yeah, I this was so fun.
This is great.
I enjoy. I mean,
Once we figure out the microphone situation,
And I can
It'll be
stop
even
having
better.
anxiety and checking them every 5 minutes, yeah. We do this anyway, so now we're just doing it on camera,
Right.
and hopefully you all enjoy it as much as we are enjoying it.
Yeah, and let us know what we should call this little thing.
Yeah, drop
We'll just call it
names.
Little Thing.
Little Thing.
Little Thing with
Every
Nikki and
podcast name
Sydney.
in the world is taken because there's
Yeah.
700,000 podcasts, and I would actually be willing to bet money that that's probably already a podcast name as well.
Let's find out really quickly.
Everyone do some research. Drop some names in the comment section of what we should call this podcast, or we'll just call it Siddles and Nickleet. And that's it.
There's the podcast called Little Things.
I'm telling you, every name is taken. Even because I even thought about just calling it the group chat podcast because that is already my brand and I have certain IPs for certain areas of the group chat. There are 3 group chat podcasts. There's group chat podcast,
Also,
the group chat
I'm
podcast.
not part of the group chat.
No, but I just thought like in the interim, like just on the thumb, like it would just be easy to call it that because the group chat is what it is. But no, we should have a different name. That's why I never brought it up because I know we should have a different name. But I looked it up before we even talked about doing this together, and I was just thinking about doing a podcast, and there are literally 3 of them.
So we need a name.
We need a name eventually. For now, it's just welcome to this random us talking about TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a short, concise name. So catchy.
So catchy.
So
It just
catchy.
rolls off the tongue.
Yeah. So we will see you guys next week with more Tell Me Lies and Bridgerton and Traitors, which I think Traitors, it's weird how that's become the thing I'm actually more excited for.
And meanwhile, I had to beg you to watch.
I know. For
what else is new?
A full year. And I
actually
wasn't...
all 3 shows we talked about were shows I begged you to watch.
So true.
Yeah.
And if we weren't doing this podcast, I would have never watched Traitors. I literally only watched it.
No matter how many times I told you this is up your alley.
And it is. And
I know.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your service.
Goodbye.
Bye, guys.